Hello everyone, I am Alok Malik and I am the Global Head of Information Security, and in parallel I am also heading the IT for Asia Pacific and the US. So here I am delighted to be a part of Strategizing Profiles in Success session at ISCON 2020 Cybersecurity Conference. And over the next 5 minutes or so, let me share this personal experience based on my industry peers, hoping that this will resonate well among our audience. While we all were hearing this news of pandemic hitting China and then spreading across the European region and the US also, so we knew that the day is not far when it will hit our nation too, and we'll have to move our employees to home so as to ensure their safety as well as to keep our businesses running. And to be honest, as many other organizations, the planning to make the business continuity plan, which is BCP, to the BAU was too less. The time was too less, and in our scale, it does take more time. And if I recall the challenges, the specific challenges that we were facing, that those were primarily related to like the client approvals for making our folks work from home, because we work on a lot of client-based projects, and then how to move the systems home. The supply chain issues were there because all the organizations were going for like pushing for laptops, be it a rental or a purchase. So there was a shortage. So yes, that's where the supply chain came into the stuff. Then the shipping stuff, and then of the offices which are in the SEZ. So those required separate approvals. Then maintenance, and the most important aspect while they work from home was that they should be secured enough. So we knew that the four walls, the perimeter as well as the firewalls, which is the logical security, were out of scope now. And instead, in our specific case, instead of having those 28 plus offices across the globe, we were supposed to have like 18,000 offices. Every home was an office. So as soon as I shared that we were already in planning phase a month ago only when the pandemic was like spreading across. So we invested in like more of our remote VPN licenses so as to ensure that the folks, when they work from home, they can easily access the environment, and it had like all the security, like the second factor authentication, and they were granted access only to what they needed to do. It was always on a need to know basis. And the two main aspects that we knew that we had to work on to ensure that we are making our endpoints more secure, and doing the information security awareness a lot more than we do in a normal scenario. Because we always thought that the attacker's first point of contact can be an endpoint. And while we were already in process of evaluating like multiple EDR solutions, which is a next generation antivirus, so we nailed down really quickly, and that was with the help of our like the global executive management, our board, because they also understood the fact that these security precautions are of utmost important. And during this pandemic, the other thing that we noticed is a surge in the ransomware attacks, and that was another reason to ensure that the endpoints are secured enough. That since that is potentially one of the entry points for the attackers. They just come in and then they start and not all the end users maybe that smart to keep them at bay. So that is why we needed a smart solution at the endpoints. We already had a protection, but we always call it as a legacy antivirus, and we wanted to move on to the next level. And while the endpoint, from technology perspective, was being upgraded, more secured, we also stepped in with a lot of information security awareness sessions, and these included like the the online sessions, then which were followed by the quiz, the email teasers, the screensavers, the phishing awareness. So this is one thing that we were doing earlier, but then we increased the frequency of the phishing awareness sessions, and in addition to that, we also increased the phishing campaigns, because we wanted to see that who can fell prey for the phishing emails. And yes, so while we found out the people, we trained them more, we educated them, and today we are in a much better situation. And lastly, as my fellow peers and my friends and the CIOs and the CISOs across the industry will agree that see, we can do as much as we want to do, but at the end of the day, our end users need to be vigilant and treat the company assets as well as the information as securely as they can, and especially in this scenario when they are working from home. And lastly, but not the least, but security is everyone's responsibility. As a CISO, we can only give them the technology, the processes, but the people aspect is is there, and they have to take care of it. Thank you.